We did actually find out about Make-A-Wish through Vertical Challenge. At the finals, everybody who's raised money goes up on the stage. Most people will make checks.
And I'm being like, oh, like this is such a great thing. Like they make it a great thing, so like we should make it a great thing. And that really encouraged us.
So then one year we were like, all right, let's just like do something. And we started out small. We just did lemonade stand.
After that first time of them selling lemonade, I asked them, I said, Madeline, so you want to go down to the corner store and get some candy? She's like, no, Dad, I want to give it to Make-A-Wish.
We have also done car washes, bake sales, and trivia nights, which all contribute to our overall money that we make for Make-A-Wish every year.
When Madeline first started talking about doing the fundraising, I was like, that's great. It was cool because you would see on Facebook and the community page, we were really proud of them. And I mean, I'd be at work during the day, but at the end of the day, you'd see that someone went by and said, hey, check out these kids on X and O Street, and they're actually raising money for Make-A-Wish.
And then it was the following year that we decided we wanted to do something bigger, kind of inspired by the Vertical Challenge races, so that's how we came up with our ski-a-thon.
They suggested, well, why don't you come with me and we'll discuss it with the owner of Sundown. And I suggested to him at that time, I said, come up with a business plan, write it down.
I remember Julia and I writing up a letter that we were gonna send to Bob, who's the owner of Ski Sundown, and pitching our idea, what we wanted to do. Basically, what we were saying is that we were gonna come in, we were gonna bring everything that we needed. Basically, we didn't need anything from the mountain, just a place to do our event. So they were like, yes, this sounds like a great idea. We started out, we decided we wanted to do a ski-a-thon and call it a ski-a-thon. We just give people an index card. So we're from a very small town, small high school. Everybody was super close. So we kind of knew that we would be able to get our friends to pitch in and help out with us. So we decided that we were gonna have somebody stand at the bottom of each chairlift, and then as our skiers and snowboarders went up on the chairlift, they would get a hole punch in their card. And then at the end of the 3 hours of the event, we collect all the cards, everybody's names are on the cards, and then we add everything up and see who's got the most runs in each age group.
When she took on the ski-a-thons with Julia, you also get a little nervous that, okay, are they in over their head? Are they gonna really, are their friends gonna pull through and volunteer with them? And they did. I mean, and it's been amazing to watch anyone do it, but to have your kid do it and to see your kid helping other kids, it's an extremely proud parent moment. And we were certainly, and I will say, we obviously helped as parents. We did a lot of driving before they were old enough to drive, but they really did the bulk of the work themselves.
We decided to raise more funds. We would have a raffle at the event. That winter, it was a lot for my parents to drive us around, me and Julia's parents, both of them, driving us around to different businesses and places, and we would go in there and we would ask them if they wanted to donate either money so that we could get something for the raffle, or items or gift cards, gift certificates that we could raffle off. Our living room was a mess because we had all of the raffle prizes in there.
Look, Julia and I, it's 3:41 a.m. and we are doing all this stuff for the fundraiser right now.
Seeing Madeline and Julia take on the ski-a-thons and raise thousands of dollars, that was really amazing to see that they did that themselves.
And we went to the championships and they got up on stage and made their big sign.
They were like, okay, everyone, if you raise money for Make-A-Wish, please come up on stage. We want to recognize all the great things that everyone does, and then you're standing up on this stage.
We would make giant posters that were bigger than Julia and I at the time.
And I was like, oh, there's a lot of people out there.
And then each family or kid gets a chance to talk about what they did, how much they raised.
And then they passed me on the microphone and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to speak. And then you start hearing the stories and it just makes you feel a lot more comfortable, and everyone's clapping for you and everyone's like, this is such a great thing, you should keep doing it. So that made me feel definitely more comfortable, when at first I was very nervous.
It was kind of cool to see her up there, and I was kind of proud of her too. And then later on, she would bring me and my younger sister Ashlyn up too.
Being right next to her, helping her hold the sign, and I mean, just seeing her do something so big, it's definitely inspired me to try and help out with her and stuff.
And it's a good feeling to see Everybody just like kind of look up to you, and it's also cool to see new kids every year up on that stage. There are a lot of returners. There's like with us, and there's a couple other families who are always up there, but it's nice to see new kids doing it and to feel like you've inspired more people to raise money.
Madeline and Julia got invited to meet the board for Connecticut Make-A-Wish. When their contact at Make-A-Wish introduced them to the board, she said to them, she said, you know, we get calls all the time from parents saying, oh, my daughter or my kid wants to do this fundraiser. And she said, and you can tell it's the parent doing everything, and it's just like the kid trying to get some volunteer hours or some approval. And she said, these two girls do everything themselves. They communicate to us. She's like, they communicate better to us than most adults do.
We were invited by Make-A-Wish Connecticut to go down and meet a Wish kid.
What I really like about Make-A-Wish is that, like, for us at the time it was kids helping kids, and I think that's a really powerful thing, and I think it's a really great community.
It feels nice to be able to help people and to know that you're making people feel really nice inside, so I think that's why we keep doing it.